Hey guys, welcome back to the WODdoc Project 365, episode 581. Tonight what we're doing is talking about that magical position that we should get the bar into whenever doing any type of front rack activity. Whether that's just getting in a front rack to do front squats, whether we're jerking, or whether they're doing a thruster type activity, okay? It's so quintessential that we get the bar farther enough back. And what I mean by that is that it comes all the way back to our clavicle. There's so many people out there, even at the elite level, because this is kind of like a little bit of a leather topic. We always talk about keeping the elbows up and everything like that, but what it seems to me is that people, it's not that they're having a hard time keeping their elbows up. Well, they are. The elbows are falling down, but it's not because the torso is collapsing. It's because what they're allowing to happen is that the bar is sliding forward, okay, and it's not getting all the way back into the position that we're looking to get into. So what I want to show you guys here real quick, we want to talk about a little bit of anatomy here, okay? So if I look and I have a deltoid right here, that's what this meaty portion is right here. So if I look at this deltoid, right, and I take my arm and I drive all the way past that deltoid, you're going to see this little hook, this little dip, this little valley that's right there. That's above the deltoid, and it's kind of where the clavicle comes in. And that's where that attachment point is for that deltoid. That's where there's not a lot of meat there. But what you'll notice is it creates a nice little cradle for the bar, and that's where we want the bar to be. Because what happens is every little bit that we allow this bar to drift forward on the meat, so to speak, as that happens, the moment arm or the center of gravity of this bar moves forward, all the weight moves forward. So now we have to use so much more back tissue. Each repetition becomes so much more taxing, and in the end, it's going to decrease performance or possibly get us hurt, okay? In the elite athletes, it's probably both. It probably decreases the performance and gets them hurt. In the beginner athlete and the people that are just coming into the CrossFit community now, it's probably more of a liability to get them hurt because they're probably not going to be conditioned enough to keep that torso up as high as they want it to be. So what we really want to focus on, this, and again, I can't say this enough, this goes for everyone, is we want to get up into that magical spot of past the deltoid, okay, and then onto where the clavicle is, okay? And is it a little uncomfortable? Absolutely, of course, but so was the hook grip when we first started. We're sacrificing a little bit of comfort for a lot of movement efficiency and a lot safer position for that bar to be. So now if I'm going to take my grip, nothing changes here, okay? In fact, don't even take a grip at all first. You know that you're in the right spot if you can get that bar past those deltoids and just lift up the bar. You see how my voice kind of changed just a little bit? How I get that little bit of a choking sensation, okay? We used to have this joke in the gym that said, if it's not choking, it's not good, okay? Which all that means is that we're trying to get the bar back far enough, okay, so we can create this little cradle. So it's in this little hook, because as soon as it falls out, that weight's coming forward. And now what happens is we see elbows start to drop, but not because your arms aren't strong enough, your torso's collapsing, but it's because the weight's getting out in front. So I want everyone to be able to go home and concentrate on getting that barbell all the way back there, right? We don't have to worry about letting it drift forward, okay? If it's on the meat, it's too far forward. We want to get it back onto the clavicles. You know you're in the right spot. Well, if I get in the center, you know you're in the right spot is if you can keep your arms up in the air and it sits on top of that little bump of the deltoid, okay? And this goes the same thing for the girls. They don't change at all just because their deltoids might not be as big, although some of the great CrossFitters out there, some of the elite girls out there probably have bigger deltoids than I do, right? But that does even if you have small deltoids, nothing changes. You know that you got far enough back when you're putting a little bit of pressure onto the neck and it's sitting right on those collarbones, okay? So get into that magical spot. It's right there, okay? And don't let that bar drift forward. You'll be on your way to some better front rack positions, some more movement efficiencies. Guys, until tomorrow, we're optimizing function to optimize performance.